Hello. Today's episode is brought to you by Audible.com. Audible.com. Listen to books, because you can't read. So I have this habit where, like, whatever I'm watching, I kind of pick up on the dialogue. So it's like when I would binge, like, Elementary, I would try to talk all, like, smarticles. And so now, like, since we just watched that movie, I feel like talking all quirky. It's the truth. So, Daniel, what movie did we just watch?
We just watched The Big Hero 6.
We watched The Big Show.
The Big Show.
We watched The Big Short.
The Big Short.
The Big Sick.
Yeah. The, merciful, hateful six. I was gonna say merciful. Anyway, yeah. I didn't know that, so I didn't really know too much about the movie.
I didn't know anything about it. Well, the only part that I knew was that it's this Middle Eastern guy that goes out with a white girl.
That's all I did
that's
too.
it.
And Ray Romano was in it.
And
I
then
didn't know that big sick literally meant someone gets bigly sick.
Yeah.
Bigly sick.
I got
Bigly.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got it sucked me in and I liked it.
Really dramatic, but also, really good.
Yeah.
Can you lower or move the? I can't see my rear view. I just side view. Thanks. Yeah. So initial thoughts, Alexa.
I liked
it. Felt a little long, didn't it?
It did.
But not long in a dragging way, just kind of long.
Yeah, because that's the whole story.
To it.
And I don't know how much of it is real.
I feel like a good amount of it probably is. I would imagine so.
Yeah. It's nice when, like, I don't know, he's a comedian, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's cool that he's able to get a movie out there that has a story like that. And,
it's a Judd Apatow produced film.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Apatow films.
Yeah.
When you're getting a little older, when Apatow films start to, you start to relate to them more.
Yeah. It's because you're old.
Well, not old, because they're kind of like the middle range, where it's not old enough to not old enough to be old, but not young enough to be young.
Yep, that's you.
Yes, exactly. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not apologizing that I did grow up watching Disney Channel.
Oh my.
Anyway, so, what did you think about the actors? How did
I liked them.
Do you think they were well cast?
Yeah. I mean, this is one where it felt like I was watching a story, and I went along with it, and it felt pretty real. I mean, dialogue in real life isn't that perfect, but
since not a lot of people probably know much about the film, can you give a general synopsis of what the story's about?
What's his name?
Kumail Dinesh. I just think of him as Dinesh because that's his name.
Silicon Valley. He's from Chicago. He does stand up, and he meets a girl, and they fall in love, and it turns out
his family's Muslim, and they're very traditional.
Yeah. They do arranged marriages.
That's kind of crazy, honestly. The whole arranged marriage.
Oh yeah, no, that's still a thing.
I know. I'm sure. I mean, I had an Indian classmate when I was in college, and she would say stuff like that. Where
they do that.
She was in college because if she wasn't home, her parents would try to have her do that.
They literally do have a picture and a card.
Yeah,
It's like.
How come I never got one of those from you? That would
Because you have Facebook and Instagram.
And in a lot of ways, though, I mean, that makes things a lot easier for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, if you're down with it, then it works. That's the thing too. It's like, I mean,
it's the
parents
version of Tinder.
It's like the parents kind of have a decent sense of judgment in picking someone. Anyway,
I guess.
But anyway, so there's just that whole cultural element, and then like the girl, like she gets sick.
Yeah.
Like she's in a coma, and but before they got into a coma, like they got into a huge argument. So it was just kind of awkward. Like her parents come.
Yeah, they broke up right before.
Yeah, and so they but then he gets to know her parents. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how much like spoiler territory we go into with our things.
I mean, like the good things about this film, like the big things to take away from it is like you learn a lot about like what it's like for a second generation Pakistani immigrant.
Yeah.
And that part of their culture and stuff like that, which is not something we tend to see very often, especially not from a comedic perspective.
Yeah. And it was good. I mean, like that was definitely an element of it, but it wasn't like
well, it was important to
but it wasn't like it got to the point in the story where like it was just about the story and it was just about people.
Yeah.
But it wasn't about color.
Sure.
Wow, it's 2017. Wow.
Yeah.
But it reminds me a lot of when I used to listen to the Bad Asians podcast.
Yeah.
Because the one guy's Vietnamese. Yeah, the one guy's Vietnamese. The other guy is he's like Middle Eastern also, and so he talks about a lot of the same stuff where it's like parents are really strict and they're really like this is our culture. We want you to do this, and it's like a lot of them don't really even believe the same stuff anymore, and it's like and like. None of it was surprising to me. Like I can totally see like parents just being like, "You're not my kid anymore."
Right.
Like freaking Asians are crazy. Like they are so stubborn and so like faithful, but it's traditional, and it's insane, and it's hard. That's what makes it hard to like talk to them and communicate with them. It's like he's like, don't act like he's like I'm thankful for all the sacrifices and stuff, but it's like just let me live. Like I was like yes.
Yeah, it's I think it's interesting because I mean it is a true story. At the end, they even show like the pictures of the real people and like how I don't want to give any spoilers away or anything, but. I think the pacing was really well because you see him, you see the growth of all the characters throughout the entire story.
Yeah.
And how would you feel if I made a movie about you and me, and like I played myself, but I casted somebody else as you?
I don't know. Well. But I don't, like, it's like, okay. I mean, I don't know how much you would want to, like, memorize lines. Well, if you wrote it, then I guess it's easy to memorize. But I don't really, like, as long as I'm involved in the project somehow, then I would be okay. Because you know that I like doing stuff.
Okay.
So then it's fine.
Sure.
Be behind the scenes.
How do you think this fits into the greater, like, Apatow cinematic universe?
I don't know.
Like...
I don't know.
I'm just making a joke.
Okay.
Alright, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, I liked it. I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
But it's a, like, cultural stuff aside, like, it's a great story. Like, we were watching all those previews of just these stories, and, like, a lot of times I'm like, I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch that. Most of the time, I don't want to watch that.
I know.
And I didn't really. I was like, it's Tuesday, so it's fine. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect, but I liked it. You know, like we.
If I were better with words, I would have wanted to do stand up. But I'm not. I'm not very good with words. Like I can't talk really well off the top of my head and like come up with some kind of monologue and
Yeah.
React really well.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. But I do like the just the idea of stand-up comedy. Well, Alex and I are big fans. We're not big fans because it's all the way in San Jose, but we like to go to comedy shows when we can.
Yeah.
And see, comedians.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and we like to support fellow Asian American, and that's the thing too. It's like Asian American isn't just the.
I wonder. I mean, it's probably. I know that Indians consider themselves Asians, but do
Middle Eastern.
like Pakistani? Do they consider themselves East Asians too, or do they consider themselves more Middle Eastern?
If you have the answer to that, comment below. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. These are good questions. But it's just supporting people
Sure.
of color, I guess.
Yeah. Well, how many witty quips would you give this out of 10? Actually?
I want to give it a. I don't know. I was gonna say 6,
6.
but it's a nice 6.
That's a nice 6.
It's a big 6.
As in like 1 being it fell completely flat as a film. I'm saying 1 being it fell completely flat as a film, or 10 being like it worked, it got its point across, and they succeeded in what they were trying to do. Like, I know that you can't compare like a lighthearted, dramatic comedy like this to like a big $100 million, $500 million film, but did they succeed in what they were trying to do and what they were trying to say?
Yeah.
And how well did they do it?
Yeah.
In your opinion. Okay, so 1 being fell flat, 10
It's like
being
a 9.
complete success. Okay, all right. Well, there you go then. Okay, so now we have a much more understood metric system here for rating.
Took us like 35 movies, but whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, so you're saying 9. I'd say an 8.5.
Okay.
Yeah. It was good. I think they got their.
Dang, we traveled fast.
All right, everyone. Well, the Big Sick, Kumail Nanjiani. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but anyway, he did a great job. I think you should support him. He's killing it on Silicon Valley too. As Bill Dinesh. Anyway, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you think about the film if you're interested in it.
Right. Back-to-back movie reviews.
Yeah.
We're crazy.
Right.
Doing crazy things.
You can follow Alexa on Twitter at halfconformist. You can follow her on Instagram at Alexcellent_Ann.
And you can follow Daniel at Instagram at Victor Kwan and Twitter Victor_Kwan.
Okay, close enough.
Right? I think so.
Yeah, but I mean, it's more clever to say
No underscore?
Sure.
Hi.
All right, guys.
Cool.
Peace.
Peace in the middle.
East.
Goodbye.